If I don't understand how students learn, it's gonna be a barrier to me knowing how to teach them because I don't know what's effective and what's not effective. So one of the first things that I think about is what are the limitations of the student? And in a lot of cases, when I get technicians, this might be their first formal adult education experience. So it's important to, especially if it's, for example, beginning classes like electrical one. So it's important to get them to where they're feeling comfortable in the environment. I tell the story of, opening up a electrical one class, talking to everybody and everything like that. Does anybody have any questions? And one guy raises his hand. He says, "Can I go to the bathroom?" I'm like, "Oh, you can go to the bathroom anytime you want here, and there's that nervousness, they're back in the classroom. They remember what classrooms were like. So we have to kind of knock that down, joke with them a little because we want them to walk into a very relaxed atmosphere. One of the good things about doing a hands-on class is you're not just sitting, solid in the seat all the time. You're getting up and moving around. So, what I like to do is I like to make their experience is similar to the work experience as possible. So, for example, when we teach, we do have a little classroom, we do have little places you can sit, but that's for short amounts of time, and then we go out into the shop. And since it's our shop, it's sometimes the shop is actually running at the time that we do the class, which is perfect. Some people are like much more comfortable with that. For example, in a perfect world, I would learn in silence, but I am not the average student. I am an instructor, so that's just something I have to work on. But the neat thing is we'll do weekend classes for our Tesla classes, and they'll walk out into the shop and they're going to see electric vehicles all over the place, and they're going, "Oh, this is real." And the reason that's important is not to burnish my ego. It's important because the legitimacy of the training has to be explicit, even though we're not explicitly describing it. And the reason that's so important to me is because then they start trusting things. And I also like to vet my students before they go into my classes. I want to have a conversation with them. What are you expecting out of the class? And sometimes it's quite revealing. I've had people say things like, kind of reluctantly saying, "I'm just here because my boss sent me here." Okay, so maybe that person isn't really, really that into it yet. We're gonna have to work on it. And also had people. I just had somebody the other day. I thought your boss was gonna go because he signed up his name. The reason he's here is because I'm trying to drag him into the future. That's what the technician said. And I'm like, okay, so, in other words, his barrier is his boss in his eyes. And so that brings up, a whole other set of questions. And so for me to do my best due diligence with him, I need to be able to give him a lot of information that shows why it might be really important to embrace this technology or any particular technology.